The days are rolling on by as we get closer to the release of Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, Nintendo's hidden godfather of open world gaming given a new lease on life. And while Monolith Soft is posting nightly about the game and Nintendo still has another trailer or two up their sleeves, there are a few things that haven't been addressed yet that will be sure to get you all prepared for release day. Hey everyone, it's Yggdrasiel, and today I am here to discuss the top 3 things I strongly recommend every gamer looking forward to playing Xenoblade X Definitive should do while waiting for release day on March 20th. Ranging from the obvious to the almost unheard of by many, I promise you that checking out at least one of these 3 items will certainly help to reward your initial experience, especially if you are a new member of Blade joining the front lines this time around. Now, just before we begin, as always, if you enjoy this video, please be sure to leave it a like, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and subscribe for more Xenoblade Chronicles, Monolith Soft, and Nintendo content. And with that out of the way, let's get stuck in. My immediate and foremost recommendation is to read the Xenoblade Chronicles X short stories. I personally know even veterans of the game that were unaware of these before I had ever brought them up, and they've so far yet to be discussed by Nintendo or Monolith Soft during the definitive version's marketing as of this video's release. These tales also never made their way marketing-wise outside of Japan for the original game either, but they were thankfully and passionately translated by Gisenko. The Xenoblade Chronicles X short stories are a series of tales that focus on several aspects of the game's story, taking place before the events of the main game themselves. From a regular day aboard the White Whale for Lyn, to the tragic tale of Tatsu being kidnapped by Prone, to perhaps one of my favorite stories to recount in Xenoblade lore, the immediate moment the White Whale crash lands on Mira, followed by 2 days of hell, as Nagi and Vandam lead Blade's forces against frenzied wildlife, all while trying to secure a foothold. These stories offer a lot of life for portions of the game's narrative that are otherwise kept pretty vague. Hell, if you had ever wondered why the name Mira was chosen for this unexplored and unheard of planet, well, the short stories also have you covered there with the introduction of Miss Mira Torres, a prominent figure who helped spearhead the campaign to see humanity saved from certain destruction. Now, just a forewarning, as I mentioned, these were not released officially to Western audiences, so please be aware of some translation changes between regions, such as the White Whale being called the Moby Dick, for example. What's more, though they are called short stories, they are rather quite lengthy, so make sure you have enough time on your hands to sit down and really immerse yourself for each story. Do so, and I promise you that they will definitely get you pumped and ready for Definitive's release day. Now, so far we've received 2 main trailers for the definitive version of Xenoblade Chronicles X, but many of you may not remember a time back during the marketing period of the original game where Nintendo had launched a series of guides. Dubbed the Xenoblade Chronicles X Survival Guides, there are over 30 minutes of official content from Nintendo of America discussing most aspects of gameplay, from the basics of combat to skill gameplay to learning the ins and outs of the Frontier Nav. There are also several sections discussing Blade and its sub-factions, types of quests and quest prerequisites, and a plethora of other useful information that is otherwise largely unchanged and will be highly relevant with regards to the definitive version. Almost every single aspect of these survival guides is as evergreen as the original version of the game so far, at least to our understanding from analyzing the definitive footage we've seen. In fact, most things should be even better and easier to grasp given the definitive edition already having shown off good quality of life features, to say nothing of the massive quality improvement that readable text will provide in helping to explain what the game is trying to present to the player. There are additional survival guides that were released by Nintendo of Japan that, like with the short stories, were also translated by Gisenko. I have provided a link that I found that lists all of these videos in the description down below for your convenience. I truly believe that many of you will enjoy the information these survival guides present, and will also help you to look even more forward to the definitive version after seeing a lot of what the game used to look like as well. Xenoblade Chronicles X is a rather unique entry as compared to the rest of the Xenoblade series. It was originally a single-player experience that was heavily rebuilt halfway into production. They even teased a character that looked a lot like Shulk in the original presentation of the game. And despite all of this, and even the fact that Xenoblade X, as we know, does not have any current known relation to the base series, new story DLC potentially notwithstanding, I would still highly encourage playing Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition to pass the time by. And that's because the world of Mira is filled with a nice variety of subtle Easter eggs and clear nods alike in reference to the world of Bionis and Mechanus. The bare bones of Xenoblade 1's combat with auto-attacking, making use of positional arts, responding to quick time events, and making use of the art palette are all pretty similar as well, so it could be a nice prelude to feel more comfortable with the combat of Xenoblade X. And let's also just be honest, while playing Xenoblade Chronicles 1 will have very little to do with the narrative and understanding of what's going on in X, just sitting down to play or replay any of the Xenoblade games is almost certainly a good way to spend the time by as we inch ever closer toward the release date of X Definitive. And there you have it, those are my top 3 things I firmly suggest any player ready to jump into the land of Mira should check out to be prepared when Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition launches onto Nintendo Switch on March 20th, 2025. Are there other things that you would also recommend to newcomers of the game? Were you aware of the short stories of Xenoblade X before this video? Will this be your first time joining your fellow comrades as a member of Blade? Please let me know all of your thoughts down below. And remember that if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave it a like and subscribe for more Xenoblade Chronicles, Monolith Soft, and Nintendo content. The vast majority of my viewers are largely unsubscribed, and any little bit of support always helps boost my morale in getting more content out. Thank you very much for your time, and as always, have a great day.